How do you define church? What is church? So a few ways you can think about church is a building, right? It's an actual place. Or church is a denomination, like it's the Roman Catholic Church or the Lutheran Church. Or church is like Crosspoint, it's your church, right? But where does church come from? Is church even in the Bible? It seems like an odd question. Of course church is in the Bible, but then you look a little more deeply and you see that kind of what we assume to be church today doesn't seem to be in the Bible the way that we think it is. In fact, you might have people who are frustrated with church and don't really get this whole Jesus thing, say, well, this whole thing, church, like I learned in history class that the church did these terrible things and did all of these things, and the way the church is today isn't even in the Bible. It's not the way it's supposed to be. It's a big claim. I've heard it before. I've thought it before. So let's answer this question once and for all. Let's start, what is church? If we're asking you to choose church, we've got to figure out what in the world it is, right? In the New Testament, the word used to describe church is this Greek word that sounds like this, ekklesia. If you have any Greek speakers in here who can probably correct my pronunciation, but I'm not going to let them today. It's okay. We're just going to go with it, ekklesia. This is the word that's used in the New Testament when Jesus or Paul or other writers are talking about the collection of people. Now, it's a word that's also used at the same time that Jesus was walking around, not just in Scripture, but also in other documents that were written in Greek. Ekklesia is used as a word that is used to describe any kind of assembly of people that have gathered together for a common purpose. So like when the politicians of a city would get together to make decisions for the city, that would be an ekklesia. When people came together in a neighborhood to decide what they were going to do about, I don't know, the animals that were roaming around and whose they were, that would be an ekklesia. So why does Jesus use this word to describe church? Well, this is what I want to put before you today. Isn't that what church is? Isn't church just a gathering of people who have a special role to play for a purpose together? And church specifically is not for our purposes, but for God's purpose. His purpose is to bring His kingdom, the things of His kingdom, onto earth as it is in heaven. So love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, all of those things are what He calls to make happen in this world. So that's the purpose we gather under. And we're a collection of people to play a unique role in that. We each have different gifts and skills and abilities that we use to make that one purpose happen. That is probably closest to what Jesus meant as church. All right?